Yeah, it's going to be Celerino Castillo III, and like I said, spelled Celerino, Castillo, Castillo, and the address is 2709 North 28.5 Street, McAllen, Texas, 78501, 2709 North 28.5 Street, McAllen, Texas. McAllen spelled McAllen, and as of last week, Alex, I have been indicted before a grand jury. So
excuse me, indicted. What's the next step?
It's the arraignment on the indictment.
The arraignment on the indictment.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And that's next week, and I'm trying to waive that so I could get an attorney to do that. And or you can email me, guys, at powderburns@prodigy.net. powderburns@prodigy.net.
Shelley, let me ask you a question. Why don't you want to be there for the arraignment? Why do you want to pay to have a lawyer go do that?
Well, because I need a lawyer to go with me. I need to go. I mean,
So you are going to be going. I mean, the whole point here is they tried to give you a, quote, court-appointed. They work for the system. That's totally staged.
Well, exactly. And when I asked the public defender, knowing that about me, why can't you defend me? He said, well, you really don't have a defense. I said, well, what am I doing here talking to you? And, so I called him and I told him, I don't need your services. I need to retain an attorney that's going to defend me. And that's basically what I'm trying to do right now. If I don't find an attorney between now and Wednesday, then what I'll do is I'll just show up and tell the judge, look, I don't have an attorney right now, and he's going to try to give me another public defender.
Well, Shelley, that's the point, is there's a procedure where in cases we've seen, for like 6 months, you can stall them just with getting the attorney issue. Well, we've actually got people who aren't these kook patriot people, but that have actually had a lot of successes, if you want me to get you in touch with them.
Yeah, I right now, Alex, I don't know if you ever gone through this before. This is the most stressful thing that's ever happened to me. And, being on medication and being, there's a very, I am surprised I have not gone postal on this. But, I'm trying my very darndest to be a good citizen. And
hey, you're hurting them. Remember this. And like you said last time you were on the show, you're still fighting for this country now. The evil has come. The night has fallen. They are now among us. They are now running everything. Know that as they persecute you, their evil will now be exposed, and it will save a lot of others.
Well, exactly, because my understanding is that they're not going to try to help me. They lied to me from the get-go. They lied to me.
There is no justice. The system is corrupt.
So I know that the government cannot be trusted to really help somebody else, and what I need to do is go forward with this, and I'm looking to do the rest of my life in jail for one mistake that I might have made in my life.
But you didn't make a mistake. They interpreted, they claim that you're not allowed to sell guns privately. You can sell your own collection. Well, if you're buying guns that are then part of your collection that you then resell, I mean, again, the gun laws are meant to persecute gun owners, not stop criminals.
Exactly. And it's just a shame that, I've placed my life on the line many, many times for my country, and I never thought that I would be fighting for my life now. And, I still go out and protest the war. I still go out there and get involved with people for peace and justice. And it's just,
Hey, briefly tell us how they tried to set you up and get you killed in your last DEA operation.
Well, it was a bus buy, as they say. I was buying heroin and cocaine on the bus buy, and I gave the bus signal, and nobody would come. I could see the agents sitting there, and the guys had guns with them, and they were going to come. They were going to, kill me if I didn't show them the money. And at the very, very last minute, the guys just got arrested, but they gave them ample time to try to hurt me, because I didn't have a weapon with me, and they did. And that's all. As I knew that my career was over with the DEA, and that's why I left the DEA. Went on sick leave for 6 months before I left the DEA because of what they were trying to do to me. And basically, I had threatened to call a press conference on the Iran-Contra investigation. That's where I contacted Lawrence Walsh, the special prosecutor for Iran-Contra, to let him know that what the government was involved in. And those are the same files that George W. Bush sealed when he came into office. And those are going to be the same files that I'm going to need to defend myself in court.
You're a hero. You're one of the main people cited.
I mean, if it worked for Oliver North, why can't it work for me? Oliver North cited national security, and of course, national security was not about to release those things. And then he got exonerated, although he was a convicted felon. But that's what he was able to get away with. But he had top lawyers to defend him.
You only get national security for shipping drugs into school children.
Well,
for selling firearms to the American people, you get prison.
That's one of the things I told the ATF agents is, what are you guys doing about all those M16s that are being sold in the black market in Mexico that are U.S. military issue? He said, that happens in third world countries, and that's part of the government, that we sell them those guns to the military, and the military turns around and sells them to the cartels or whatever. But that's business as usual in Latin America.
Yeah, the Bush wants to give $48 billion to Mexico now, up from just $2 billion a year, and that is to build up the drug cartels they want to wage war on the other cartels. Briefly explain to people who Los Zetas works for and what's really going on.
Well, it's the government, the military government that's run the cartels for several years now, and if it's obvious that if you don't, they come in here into the borders of Texas and Mexico, the Mexican military, and they take over the streets and they take over everything. So there's no way, shape, and form that the cartels can fight the military. So who ends up running the drugs is going to be the military, running the drugs, using the cartels as their gophers for it.
Now let's be clear, though. Our government, the U.S., is involved with Los Zetas. Talk about that.
Yeah, well, we trained the Zetas. We trained the Caibiles. I personally trained the Caibiles down in Latin America, in Guatemala, and all those death squads that we trained down there. But see, that's going to be my defense. I was part or instrumental in training these kind of people to come and do all kinds of shit stuff to other governments, to those third world countries, and now they're the crime has spilled over into the U.S. and the corruption.
Yeah, let's explain. The quote drug war is going in and blowing up villages and having planes spray one group of coca plants, but not the others, owned by the group that's backed by the right wing military.
Exactly, and that's how the paramilitaries get trained, and that's why they're still around. They have not been taken out because they're part of the system that works for the for the military. As you see now today, Mexico has finally admitted that they do have a paramilitary group going on in Mexico.
And let's be clear that right down in South Texas, don't say where is a liability, the CIA trains Los Zetas right now. And they train them to wage war against the few small rival drug gangs. There is a drug war at the big scale, but it's only about who controls the main conduits.
Well, it's called the process of elimination, and that's basically what they have done with the cartels. And they come over and they've taken over, and the military will continue to run drug operations.
And Bush's $46 billion for Mexico is to finally get a monopoly on the cocaine and heroin coming in.
Yeah, well, that's why Blackwater will not lose their license. Blackwater's on their way to Mexico right now to train the paramilitary groups in Mexico, and part of it probably going to be here in the U.S. also.
Yeah, it's all going to be just the drug dealers openly ruling everything. But then when your kid uses it, the very drug dealers will then take them to a private FEMA camp. Thank you so much, Shelly Costello. We'll stay in contact. And I'm going to have Trey call you right now and set you up for a day in studio next week, okay?
Okay, thank you, guys, for having me.
Shelly, God bless you. I think you're going to get a lot of support. I know my listeners. Thank you, sir.